So it's Saturday afternoon, and I just woke up not too long ago because I stayed up all night watching Tiger King because I asked people, is it really as good as people were saying it is? You know, is it really worth all the hype? And most people said yes. So I watched it, and it is pretty good. I thought it was very entertaining. A lot of twist and crazy stuff, as a lot of people are saying. But it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I think it was a little bit too overhyped. Something that isn't as overhyped, something that actually lived up completely to its expectations, for example, and that's on Netflix as well, is Castlevania. That has no business being as good as it is. But I digress. We're going to talk about Joe Rogan trending. You know, I woke up, checked my, all my notifications, and then I saw on Twitter that Joe Rogan was trending, and I thought, I know exactly what this is about. Because I watched the podcast with him and Eric Weinstein yesterday, and there was a part where Joe Rogan said he would vote for Trump before he would vote for Joe Biden.
This is the real issue with the Democratic Party. They've essentially made us all morons.
Yeah.
With this Joe Biden thing. They really have.
Can
They
you
made us all
imagine?
morons.
Who do we need? I mean,
I can't vote for that guy.
I can't vote for him.
I can't vote for him.
I can't vote for Trump.
I'd rather vote for Trump than him. I don't think he could handle anything.
When he said that, I knew he messed up. At least like he messed up because he gave the mainstream media like just all of this ammo. So I already knew the mainstream media, they were gonna jump all over this because that's, isn't this the guy that endorsed Bernie Sanders? He endorsed Sanders. Well, I can't believe he would say something like this. Completely not examining this. There'd be no nuance in any way, shape, or form. But one thing I guess I didn't really consider because I wasn't really thinking that far ahead was that the people, the never Trumpers, the vote blue no matter who people were gonna like freak out too. And man, I gotta tell you, at this point I kind of hate those people more than the media, because they're kind of the reason why we can't even have a third party. They're the reason why we're always stuck in this left-right paradigm. Nothing can ever escape this, because even when there is piece of shit candidates, they just stick to this stuff like, we gotta stay with these people because never offer any good reasons. So what you had in 2016 was Hillary Clinton, right? Seizures, freaking out, saying the most egregious stuff, just a complete politician into her bones, everything, a bunch of allegations surrounding her, the Clinton Foundation, sweeping sexual assault allegations under the rug that were, aimed at her husband, Bill Clinton, just a laundry list of just garbage. Health issues, no business should be in the forefront of the Democratic nomination. So a bunch of people obviously didn't want to vote for her. Understandably, but a lot of people did because they're like, vote blue no matter who, never Trump. We got to defeat this colossal tyrant and stuff. And it's like, you just fucked yourself, because obviously, even though the mainstream media made it look like she was gonna win, it wasn't the case, man. All you had to do was just listen to the buzz in the air, and everyone's like, man, fucking Hillary Clinton, what? And guess what? We fast forward to 2020, and the same shit is happening again with Joe Biden. You had a bunch of people, if you listen to the buzz, you have a lot of people that are like, yeah, I'd get behind Bernie Sanders. I'd get behind him. And then the media and all these motherfuckers work together, and then he gets destroyed, and Biden is propped up by boomers and a bunch of other idiots that just, maybe they're reminiscent. They're like, I remember this guy from the Obama days. The Obama day, it was such a classic. That was a good old time. Remember Obama? Everything was just nice. There was no fuckery afoot with Obama. Of course there was, but since Obama was such a smooth talking pimp, and I gotta admit, man, like if I saw Obama and he was just chilling, I'd be like, yo, dude, let's go get a beer and let's go talk about basketball, man. So like I understand where that's coming from. The same thing happened with people in George Bush. He's like, we can go to a baseball game and eat some fucking pretzels and hopefully he won't choke and slam his head on the table again. But I get it. Now, Trump, obviously, is totally different, but we don't need to get into that. We're going to focus on this and what Joe Rogan said, because I think a lot of people are twisting this completely wrong, because just because he said that he would vote for Trump before he would vote for Joe Biden doesn't mean that he's going to vote for Trump. It's an expression. It's a saying. It's just like, say, in a video, this had to be like 4 years ago or something. I said, gun to my head, I'd vote for Trump over Hillary. Now, some people could take that as, oh, well, then he's going to vote for Trump. No, take that as if someone was forcing me to vote between them two, gun to my head, then yes, I would cast my vote for Trump, because you look at all the stuff that is going on, Hillary versus Trump, like with all the corruption and greed and just fuckery. There's just a mountain more on Hillary's side than Trump. Not acting like there's no fuckery afoot that on Trump's side, but Hillary Clinton's a career politician, and we know all of her garbage, and it's all on display. And you know that every time somebody is being propped up and say if the establishment doesn't want them, all of their demons are unearthed. And like, say, the biggest demon they can find out about Trump was like, oh, grab him by the pussy, like, say, grab him by the pussy. That's the best you can do. Like, that's it. Like, so it kind of gave people, especially people on the right, they're like, oh, that's it. And then a lot of people are like, that's awesome. So obviously Joe would rather vote for Bernie Sanders. He would have rather have voted for Tulsi Gabbard. He would have rather have voted for Andrew Yang. But yeah, Tulsi Gabbard was his person. And yes, I like Tulsi Gabbard too. I thought Tulsi Gabbard was great. Obviously, Tulsi is mommy. Some people get mad about that. Like, oh, you're just attracted to her. I'm like, I'm not just attracted to her. I mean, yeah, she happens to be an attractive woman. She's like, what? Was she like fucking 38 or something? She's still pretty young. I feel like I have a chance. On the real, people are attracted to young, competent people. And even though it was pretty unfortunate for, her, she said that she's going to support whoever becomes the nomination, meaning that she's going to support Joe Biden. A lot of people were pissed off at her, me included, because, even though you said that, maybe you should probably take that shit back, because it kind of does go against your principles. And I feel like, say, one of the reasons why people just can't understand what Joe is saying is because I feel like Joe's a man of principle too, and he's not just going to do vote blue no matter who, and I feel like just because he said he would vote for Trump before he would vote for Biden doesn't mean he would even vote for Trump. I think he's just saying that, kind of like the gun to my head scenario. That's why I brought that shit up. I feel like, say, to be honest, Joe's the type of person that would probably vote third party. I don't know. I don't know if he's actually addressed that, and if he feels that, say, third party is just a complete waste and you should always vote within the left-right paradigm. I don't know. But I feel like that's the type of person that's what he would do. Just like, say, there's a lot of people that do that as well, and people get mad. Those other people get mad because they're like, hey, you need to vote exactly the way that I want you to vote, because if you don't vote the way that I want you to vote, that means that you are voting for the person I don't like. That's something... that shit drives me nuts, man. Kind of the antithesis of freedom, where you say you have the right to vote, but since you have the right to vote, you need to vote right, correctly. And I say to those people, if you ever encounter those people, stick that middle finger in their fucking face, because it just shows you, man, the reason why this machine keeps raging on, the reason why the military industrial complex keeps raging on, the reason why the Fed keeps printing the money and then plunge us deeper into debt is because these people don't give a fuck about really changing shit, man. Anytime somebody comes up and has a really good idea and that threatens people's money on the top, they get shut down, and then they're left with some piece of shit candidate, and they're like, well, I guess we gotta go for them. And I say, no. Why are you continuing this bullshit? Just like Eric Weinstein kept saying, like, we need some type of revolt. Now, I don't think he means violence. I don't think he means that. I'm assuming he didn't mean that on the podcast. I think he's talking like some intellectual type of revolt. Something where it's like, dude, stop. Enough is enough. Just like I said 4 years ago, when they fucked Bernie Sanders out of the DNC, when the DNC fucked Bernie Sanders, I said, shouldn't they just pump the brakes and be like, no. This is not how this shit's going to work anymore. We're not going to do this shit anymore. And I always say, people, what is going to happen? What are people going to do to ensure this corruption stops? And this isn't just on the left. The same shit happened to Ron Paul. Ron Paul, a libertarian, he was like, I'm going to run as a Republican, even though he's an independent. And then they fucked him. They fucked him too. And it's just like, it's a cycle. And so, I mean, you see this happening, and then you see someone like Joe Biden who has no business being the forefront. No business. Dude is clearly senile. Dude clearly just doesn't know where he is half of the fucking time. Same type of problems that Hillary Clinton had. And then somehow they're going to go against Trump. And you fucking know they have no chance. Now, it seemed like Hillary Clinton had a chance because the media fooled everybody. All the polls you saw, like, oh, she's gonna win by a landslide, and that's clearly not what fucking happened. And you know this time around that for sure, that Biden does not have a fucking chance. And people are mad because you're like, you're not gonna get behind Biden. You have to because we have to beat Trump. It's like, no, put somebody there that you know that would beat fucking Trump. It's as simple as that. And there's a lot of people that love Trump and all this shit. So they're probably sitting pretty and they're all nice and happy. And I got to tell you, like, I don't fucking despise him. I don't wake up every morning like, oh my God. But I can tell you that whole draining the swamp shit that he talked about, that shit didn't fucking happen. So I'm not sure why you guys love him so fucking much, because maybe because the economy didn't explode, you know, and then some aspects of the economy are doing better. And then of course he's going to take credit for that, even though if there's trends between presidents, things happen, policies are put in place, and then other presidents reap benefits and other presidents take the blame. It's a cycle. It's kind of weird that people haven't figured that shit out yet. But hey, you know, take the credit or whatever. But hey, like I said, military-industrial complex rages on. Everything else is still going according to plan. People are still able to do what they want to do. People are still able to get fucking waivers and pay no taxes. The same shit is still going on. So, I mean, he's another cog, man. Just another cog. And I feel like a lot of people are fucking bitching for stupid reasons. And I guess I'm a little fired up and annoyed, because normally a lot of this stuff I was kind of like, I don't give a fuck about this stuff anymore. And I just kind of laugh a lot of it off. Because I have my spurts of where I feel a little bit energized and I feel like I should get involved. Like, say, back in 2010, I was really involved. Back in 2012, I was really involved, like, in politics. Got burnt out. And then towards the election 2016, I got involved because it was really interesting. Seemed like an unprecedented time, but it really wasn't. I mean, hey, Reagan was a fucking celebrity and shit. So it's really not that different when you think about it. And so I got to the point where around this time I was like, fuck all this shit. But I think I'm a little bit agitated, mainly because of this quarantine, just to be honest. I think that, like, I haven't had a session of lifting heavy weights in so long that it's actually starting to really annoy me. Because, yeah, I can do calisthenics, I can do a bunch of push-ups and stuff. I have a kettlebell, but it's fucking 20 pounds. And so I haven't done anything that's really stimulated me. And I've been twitching a lot, man. I've been, like, laying in bed and, like, just kind of, like, not exerting the amount of energy that I usually do when I go to the gym, because even though I should be working on cardio, I typically lift pretty heavy because that's kind of, I don't know, that's just what really gets me going, man. But all right, guys, I think I've rambled on enough. I'm looking forward to if Joe responds to all this nonsense. He may not, because there's always so much stuff brought against him. I think he sometimes just picks and chooses if he wants to say anything, because a lot of time it's the same old bullshit. Joe Rogan has been accused of being alt-right and all this stuff numerous amounts of times, and I think at this point he's kind of over it. I feel like it's one of the reasons, for example, why there was a lot of YouTubers he wanted to talk to and invite onto the podcast, and I think he just completely shut down that idea because of what he was constantly linked to. You know, like, say, when I've told some of you guys that, yeah, Joe invited me onto the podcast, which was, oh, that's great. What an honor. It was actually a milestone of mine. And I can't believe that I've reached it so early into this this YouTube thing that I'm doing. And, you know, a couple years later, just that shit ain't happening. I can tell you, like, at least it's been radio silence. And I believe it's because, A, he's very busy, and B, he just doesn't want to, like, be linked to that part of YouTube anymore. That, like, say, progressive ideologues in the media were just saying racist, you know, just completely unreasonably. So I get it. But hey, hope you guys are having a good day. Gonna be streaming tonight, so look out for that. Probably set a reminder on some shit if you're down for that. Stay safe, wash your fucking hands, cover your faces, and have a good one.